This online broadcast has been slightly altered from the original to ensure that we meet the DMCA guidelines. Eagle Vision strives to make shows for our students with special elements and musical clips that we are not allowed to broadcast to the public. Several music and visual elements in the show you're about to view have been replaced. Thank you for supporting and watching EVTV.
Wash over all of us in the light. Let the world see all of our wonder. Our dancing souls will spin up high. Feeling alive, feeling the color.
Welcome to Eagle Vision for Friday, January the 18th, 2019. I'm Brooklyn, and today's top story highlights the upcoming Martin Luther King holiday and its long journey to becoming a national holiday. Here's Mr. Lewis with the story.
Martin Luther King was the chief spokesman for nonviolent activism in the civil rights movement, which successfully protested racial discrimination in federal and state law. The idea of Martin Luther King Jr. Day as a holiday was promoted by labor unions in contract negotiations. After King's death, it took 15 years to create the federal Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. Congressman John Conyers, a Democrat from Michigan, first introduced the legislation for a commemorative holiday 4 days after King was assassinated in 1968. After the bill became stalled, petitions endorsing the holiday containing 6 million names were submitted to Congress. Conyers and Representative Shirley Chisholm resubmitted the King holiday legislation each subsequent legislative season. Public pressure for the holiday mounted during the 1982 and 83 civil rights marches in Washington. Congress passed the holiday legislation in 1983, which was then signed into law by President Ronald Reagan. A compromise moving the holiday from January 15th, King's birthday, which was considered too close to Christmas and New Year's, to the third Monday in January helped overcome opposition to the law.
Traces of bigotry still mar America. So each year on Martin Luther King Day, let us not only recall Dr. King, but rededicate ourselves to the commandments he believed in and sought to live every day. Thou shalt love thy God with all thy heart, and I shall love thy neighbor as thyself. And I just have to believe that all of us, if all of us, young and old, Republicans and Democrats, do all we can to live up to those commandments, then we will see the day when Dr. King's dream comes true.
Although the federal holiday honoring King was signed into law in 1983, it took effect 3 years later. Not every U.S. state chose to observe the holiday at the state level until 1991. One interesting fact many people don't realize is that Martin Luther King Day is also observed outside the United States. Japan, Israel, Canada, and the Netherlands also observe Martin Luther King Day.
In school news, our choir has several exciting events lined up for the spring. We caught up with Jayla earlier this week to find out more.
Today we're here with Jada, and today we're going to ask her some questions about the HLHS choir. Jada, what upcoming events the choir has for 2019?
Alright, so February the 12th, the choir, we're going to do a choreo joint choir, and that's going to consist of all DeSoto County schools. And then following that, we have a New York trip, and that's going to be March the 3rd through the 11th. And we're having a farewell concert March the 1st, so come out to that. And then after that, we're having a Bluff City Choral Festival and a state performance assessment later on in March. So it should be a good end of the year, and I can't wait to go to New York and just have fun. So,
would you recommend anybody to try out for choir?
I do recommend y'all to try out for choir. It is a great experience. You can get a lot of scholarship opportunities for when you try to go to college, and you get to go to a lot of states and different places. So I would recommend that.
Can you give us more information about what choir is really about?
Choir is about just sharing your love for music, and you know, it's not just like a choir, but it's a family. No matter who you are, your background, you can be anybody, but just joining choir is just a good opportunity. So if you want to do that, auditions are at the end of the school year, and we'll give you more details on that.
It's now time for today's announcements. Pay attention, we're moving fast. Sophomores, the sign-up sheets for the ACT are on the counselor's table in the comments. This is a free administration opportunity during school hours. However, you must sign up. The ACT is a requirement if you plan on taking dual credit classes your junior year. The deadline for signing up is February the 8th. Students, be sure to park in the student parking lot and not in the front of the building, or you will be towed. There will be a student council meeting Tuesday morning. Book Club is having its first meeting during your lunch, January the 23rd. If you're new to Horn Lake and would like to join the book club, drop by the library and see Miss Lindsay this week. Seniors, you need to make sure you completed your FAFSA. You also need to be actively looking for scholarships and calling schools if you haven't heard from them to find out what items you need to complete for the application process. If you have been accepted to school, you need to get your housing fees ready. They usually start to release this information in March. The ASVAB test will be given on February the 13th. Students with high scores can qualify for better benefits and high-paying jobs. Many students have also increased their ACT scores after examining their weak points from the ASVAB. To sign up, visit the counselor complex. Sheets are on the tables. Seniors, we need you to continue sending us pictures for the senior video. Upload your pictures and videos to hornlakeTV@gmail.com. We have lots of video content you don't get to see here on the show. Head to hornlakehigh.com and click on the subscribe link to get full access to our YouTube library. That's it for today's episode here at Horn Lake. We are better students, always growing and expecting more. Stay tuned for your lunch menus and athletic schedules. We'll see you here Tuesday. Have a fantastic weekend.
All we need is something to fill our lives. Give us hope to guide us through the darkest night. Hoping to shake, hoping with all our might. That one day soon our dreams will see the light. All the colors of the rainbow wash over all of us in the night. Let the world see all of the wonder. Our dancing souls will spin up high. Feeling alive, feeling the color. share the same light and